Hi, I'm Eric D'Amato,
And I'm Classic Gamer.
and welcome back to Narwhal and Classix Post Play Podcast. And happy Halloween!
Happy Halloween.
It's October, so we're talking about a horror game we both played.
Yes.
Now, are you at all familiar, Classix, with George A. Romero?
Oh, yes, I am.
Big fan of his movies?
Yeah, I do like his films. I haven't seen the original, like Day of the Dead. Well, I've watched bits of original Day of the Dead, and
I highly recommend it.
and Dawn of the
Day
Dead.
of the Dead is
And
probably my favorite.
I just remember being able to find it fully on YouTube and just going to the bit where the evil soldier gets killed when Bub shoots him and he falls in the door.
Yeah.
Well, no. He sees the zombies. He like screams, and then Bub's like, he shoots him, and then he falls back, and he just salutes him as he falls back, and then it's the worst death I think out of all of them.
And Rhodes yells, "Choke on him!"
Choke on?
Choke on him as they take his legs away.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they drag his lower body away, and he yells, "Choke on him!"
Oh yeah, because he's still alive, isn't he?
Yes.
Because he dies in a really horrific way. One laughs as he's fucking pulled apart.
Yeah, as his head is torn, as he's torn apart, and another dude gets his head torn off.
And then the guy who then goes off and lets them all down, who then sacrifices himself, and
yeah.
Why would you do that?
Because he's already turning, he doesn't care anymore, and he hates what everyone's become. So he goes and brings all the zombies in.
Oh.
I think he does it pretty much so that Sarah, McDermott, and the helicopter pilot can escape.
Oh yeah, because he's on their side, isn't he? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I do remember. I think I don't know if I ever. I think I've sort of skipped through it, but I know there's that really awful Bloodshot one, or Blood, whatever it's called, like the sequel like that came out that was really crap.
But George A. Romero, rest in peace. He pretty much invented the zombie.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And he had a zombie movie come out in I think it was 2007 or 2005. It was Land of the Dead. Now, Land of the Dead is a direct sequel, well, sort of direct sequel to Day of the Dead. As in, it's the same zombie outbreak, it's the same universe. Because it goes Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, and then into Land of the Dead. They're all one continuous. They're all supposed to be the same universe.
But it's going on the originals, not the remakes, isn't it?
Of course.
Yeah. So essentially, the Day of the Dead.
2005. It came out in 2005.
Yeah, but the original. It's the original Day of the Dead. It must have been a lot of years has passed since the initial outbreak.
It's not necessarily because the movies were made. Night of the Living Dead was made in 68. Dawn of the Dead was made in 78, and Day of the Dead was made in 84. But it's not been it's not been almost 20 years of zombie apocalypse. Between Night of the Living Dead and Dawn of the Dead, there's been about 2 weeks, between 2 weeks and a month. Between Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead, there's been a bit less than a year. And I think it's been a few years, like maybe 2 or 3 years. Between Day and Land.
But the only thing I have a problem with that is the fact that Land of the Dead, because it was done so much later on than the Day of the Dead, you can see that it looks very modern, like like the time.
If between the 60s and the 70s and the 80s, things also changed quite a bit in the other movies.
Oh no, you're right, but like there are films that when they have like a sequel that comes out and it's the next one on from the previous film, it has the same kind of style. So if it's like an ancient film, for example, like a medieval film, it will still have that. They'll have it in the same setting, but whereas Land of the Dead for me, you can see that it's you know a lot of years later when he made it.
It's what's referred to as a sliding time scale.
Ah, okay.
Because, like, before we get into what we're actually doing, for Night of the Living Dead, Night of the Living Dead's in the 60s, but Dawn of the Dead's in the 70s. For Dawn of the Dead, the events of Night of the Living Dead took place in the 70s. Day of the Dead's for the 80s. It is in the 80s. Therefore, the events of Dawn of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead, for that one, those took place in the 80s. And for Land of the Dead, which is in 2007, that means Night, Day, and Dawn took place in the 2000s for that.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Each movie's also about the time in which it's made.
yeah, no, yeah, I don't. I remember watching the remake of Dawn of the Dead. I really do like that film a lot. I do like that
Fair
film.
enough. I think it's one of the worst films ever made, but just me.
Yeah, I like it. Um, I just think I just like. I think I like the setting of it. It kind of like I like zombie films anyway. And then I saw Land of the Dead, and it kind of like I think I didn't enjoy that film as much, but I did actually flick through it the other day, actually, funnily enough. And it's when like they get to the electric fence and then the zombies are closing in and the guy goes, "We're dead." And then they turn up in that big truck and they see them all getting ripped apart and
Yeah,
screaming.
Dead Reckoning.
Yeah, yeah. And you can just see that they're all dead, but you can hear screaming, so some of them are like alive, which just makes it even worse. But the game we're talking about today is actually it's a
A
prequel to this one,
prequel
isn't it?
to Land of the Dead. This is Land of the Dead: The Road to Fiddler's Green. Fiddler's Green being the big
Skyscraper.
the settlement, the human settlement, and the big tower where all the rich people live.
Yeah.
Because Land of the Dead is about class warfare,
Yes.
where Night of the Living Dead was about Vietnam, um, but from the perspective of the Vietnamese. Dawn of the Dead's about consumerism, and Day of the Dead's about nuclear war. Well, nuclear proliferation, and
What?
Land of the Dead's about class warfare.
Yeah. You know what? It's funny how when he's trying to make Bub be more human to try and domesticate the zombies to try and make like the world better so they can like have them like doing simple things.
Yeah,
And it's amazing how other films will take that same idea but completely crap on it, like the Resident Evil Extinction, for
yeah.
example, where he makes super zombies, and because he can't get the star in the shape that he's trying to get it in, he smashes it. The doctors get trapped in the room and then they both die. So it's not the kind of same thing, but it's kind of they have done that quite a lot in some of the films. Um, but no, so
Land of the Dead, at least in the movie, it builds on the Bub idea, with zombies being able to learn how to use weapons, especially Big Daddy, and a few others learning how to use firearms.
yeah, he gets a gun, doesn't he? So and then the other one I
Yeah,
think gets like an axe or something,
yeah,
and and I like the way that they kind of like that. He's still wandering around the gas station looking for service, and then he's come to realize, and then like I think it's a really really good idea how they did it, and no, you're right, it does go on the whole above idea, because they obviously they start. What it goes on, in fact, is that they have a depressed memory of their former self. So and Resident Evil does that as well. Like you have exactly the same situation with Stevie at the start, and he's in the gas station wandering around waiting for service, and Alice kills him. So it's a big thing with Big Daddy. Exactly the same idea. But Land of the Dead: Road to Fiddler's Green starts when you're as a farmer.
We could never get his name. When we played it, we couldn't figure out his name, so we just decided to call him. I think we just called him Bub
Bob.
as an inside joke.
See if I can actually.
And so you're there, and then the outbreak does start, and you see someone on your lawn just kind of standing there being weird. So you go to like tell them to leave, but it's a zombie, and you have to
Oh, his name is Jack.
Jack. We call him Bub anyway.
The game is a prequel to Land of the Dead, taking place in the initial outbreak of the zombie pandemic. Players take the role of the farmer named Jack, who one day finds his farm besieged by the undead.
Yeah, so that's where you start. You're at the farm. There's the undead. They can break down doors.
Yeah.
But they take a while, so you can close them. But if you need to heal, or you need to reload, or you need to find a new weapon. You start out with a basic. You go up to your attic, and you get a essentially useless rifle.
Yeah, it's god awful.
I think it takes 4 or 5 direct headshots to put down a zombie.
Oh yeah, but then also the Magnum takes 3.
Magnum takes 1.
I'm sure it took a lot longer than that.
Took me 1. I'm a really good shot if I'm on a mouse and keyboard.
I used the mouse and keyboard, but I'm pretty sure that because I have played that game once. I think I did it one year. Because there's another game that kind of takes the same idea from Land of the Dead. It's called Day of the Zombie, and it's actually a really good alternative to this game. Same kind of idea, same kind of zombies, but you have 4, or I think it's 3 or 4 different characters in that game. So that's definitely one you should check out.
But you escape. Eventually you escape the farm. Well, no, you clear the zombies off your farm.
Yeah, you get
And
to
then
the
you
barn.
go,
You get a shovel, or you get an axe later.
you get a shovel, and you get a shotgun.
Not from
You get. Isn't that where you find your shot? That's why you wanted to get into the barn, because
no. The Magnum's in the barn.
Ah, yes.
Because
I know it didn't do much for you, but the Magnum was my go-to gun until I got a very, very special item, which we'll get to in a bit.
yes, I know the one you mean.
And then after clearing your farm, you decide to you listen to some radio broadcasts about things going bad with the zombie outbreak.
Which says to stay in your homes and don't leave, which is something you should never do in a zombie outbreak.
Great.
Especially.
And also don't board up your windows. No, seriously. Pull the curtains, but don't board up anything.
Oh yeah, because they're attracted to light and stuff, aren't they?
Because they're attracted. Light they can see. So obviously, like in the Blitz, blackout. But don't hammer stuff up. They can hear that.
Yeah.
If they don't, zombies have no comprehension. At least in the initial outbreak, they have no understanding of what a house is.
Yeah, the only thing they understand is when they see you, they immediately think dinner.
Yeah.
And it's
So if they don't see you,
they'll. Oh yeah, if they don't, I thought you were going to continue on that sentence. Sorry. It's like the old saying of like the Terminator. It doesn't listen to reason. It will not stop until you're dead. Same kind of thing with the zombies. They will not stop until you're dead. They will keep coming. In other words, although a zombie is a lot easier to kill than a Terminator, admittedly.
Hmm.
So you eventually go
You get to
out
your
the
neighbor's
neighbors.
house.
Yeah,
You go through a freaking corn maze, basically.
yeah. Which if you play this game without cheats is not easy.
Not recommend playing this without cheats is not recommended.
I did try this game a little while ago with cheats, and I managed to get the thing we're going to mention in a minute because I know exactly what you're going to say.
Because when you get to your neighbor's house, if you go up to the attic,
I never
well, no,
found this.
into his bedroom, you open the closet, you pick up a book, and you see a book called Day of the Kung Fu Zombie. And if you interact with the book, your Jack will say, "I know kung fu," and then he'll bring up his fists that now have like Chinese dragon tattoos on them, and you now have the strongest weapon in the game, which is the kung fu fists, where you can essentially punch zombies until their heads fall off,
Yeah.
and it's hilarious.
Well, if you manage to like get one directly in the head, you will knock its head off.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Also, every melee weapon has two different attacks: a left mouse click and a right mouse click.
I don't remember. I know I played this game without cheats, and it was infuriating.
Hmm.
I don't know if you saw my
Because,
my
like,
initial LP of this
example
game.
with the hammer, for example. Left, you like swing the hammer at their head. Right, you like normal hammer tap.
Yeah, I do remember
It
that.
changes the attack slightly depending on which button you click.
Yeah, which is why this game is much better playing with mouse and keyboard.
Oh, I don't think that it's even possible to play this game with a controller.
Oh no, it's not. I mean, it is on the original Xbox.
Like, I don't recommend playing any first-person shooter with a controller.
There are some games you can play with a controller.
For me, I like a mouse and keyboard for shooters, and obviously point-and-click adventure games and RTS. I like controllers for like GTA style games and your third-person action.
Okay, so very sorry about that, guys. My end cut off the recording, so it was a slight. You'll have a slight jump cut there. So
Technical difficulties.
yes, I will put in the technical difficulties screen for your viewing pleasure. Even though this is a podcast and not a video.
um, so yeah, you eventually after you get rid of all the zombies in the general area, and you kind of like hole up in your neighbor's house
Yeah.
until you hear a radio broadcast about going into town, where they're collecting survivors to take you to a safe zone. So you decide to go.
I remember you get there and then you go through the sewers, don't you?
Yeah, because you the streets are just full of zombies.
Yeah.
So you go through the sewers. Obviously, a lot more zombies in the sewers.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember you. Um, it's very difficult to move down there because the zombies can. If the zombies corner you in this game, you're basically dead.
Yeah.
Because when they hit you, you kind of go skew whiff, as we say, like so
Mm.
you kind of will go to the side slightly, in a like recovery for about a second, and then you'll get back up. And that one split second that it does that for, um, another one can hit you, and you'll just be in a combo that you can't escape from,
Mm.
which is infuriating, to say the least. So you eventually get through the sewers.
You get to a hospital.
Is this the game where you have a choice in the hospital, or is that a different game? I'm
Um,
sure. I'm sure there's one. Or is that Day of the Zombie? I think that might be Day of the Zombie. No, it's a different zombie. It's a different game. I played this game where you go to a hospital and you have like a choice whether or not you save someone or not. I can't remember what it's called.
So anyway, you do save. You go through the hospital. You meet a zombie. Well, you meet a guy who's been who told you to come in so you can help him with stuff. But it turns out he's been infected, and so you have to kill him. He has an axe. That's where you get the axe.
Yeah.
From the hospital's it's one of my favorite levels actually in the game. There's a lot of there's a lot of really dark imagery, like the body bags that are squirming.
Yeah, like I think it does I think capture a lot of things very well.
From there, you go to the police station.
A place that you would think is safe in a zombie apocalypse.
No, it's not. It's very not. You do get some new guns there.
Yeah, well, it seems that in every single zombie apocalypse you see, the police are always the first people that get wiped out.
Well, especially in in a Romero zombie situation, because everyone's infected. So it's not just the bite that turns you. If you die of anything, you
Yeah, everyone's infected
yeah.
regardless. It's the same in Walking Dead as well. If you die, you still come back.
And the reason it goes so badly in the police station is, this guy's acting weird. He got bit. This guy he's acting weird. He has this bite mark on him. Let's put him in lockup with the other people. And then they turn, and then there's a bunch of people stuck in prisons in a prison cell with a zombie, and that doesn't go well.
No, no, definitely not.
And you bring in some, oh, this person was stabbed, and then they die, and then they turn, and then they same reason hospitals go really quickly, because anyone dies of anything, boom, zombie.
Yeah.
Someone brought on an ambulance to the emergency room, was in a car crash, zombie.
Well, there's actually a mission now. You mentioned like in a like a place where one person can turn and affect everyone. So you have to go and get something from a warehouse in State of Decay, and they're like, "Where is it?" And you're like, "Well, the army was using this warehouse to store the dead bodies or the zombies, and that's where it is."
Oh
And
no.
you're like, "Oh, so we have to go into a warehouse where lots of dead people are to get this item that we need to be able to get through this big brick wall that they've done that goes into like the what's it called, the highway to get out of the valley that they're trapped in essentially." So yeah, even though when you get to the actual warehouse, there's like not very many zombies in there at all. Apart from like that game is good with like the zombies are obviously few and far between, but then they pick up later. As if you don't deal with hordes in that game, so it's like
Though in the police station, you meet a guy called Otis.
he's a truck driver, isn't he?
Yep.
Yeah.
I for some reason, when I was playing through this game with Geo on my channel, Geo decided he hated Otis
Oh dear.
because he had the same name as Otis from Dead Rising. I didn't mind him. I liked Otis, but Geo decided he hated him. So I think bad things would happen to Otis. But we get him out. We manage to get him out. We find the keys and get him out. And then he's going to go get his truck, and you have to cover him from the roof with a sniper rifle.
Oh yeah.
This mission is not fun, but it
I
is
I think I failed it intentionally at one point.
It is fairly easy though,
It's not impossible to do.
because you just it's it's not fun, but it's also not particularly challenging because you just have to make sure to get the zombies that are getting him, then turn around, then switch to the shotgun or the kung fu fists, take out the zombies that have swarmed on your location, then immediately get the sniper rifle back out, and go back to watching him.
Yeah, not particularly easy.
From there, he takes you to the docks.
Oh
So you can
yes,
steal
I remember the docks.
so you can steal a boat.
Yeah, you find a boat that isn't like unusable.
That's workable, a seaworthy vessel.
Yeah, a bit like when in Walking Dead and you go to the docks
Yeah,
in
but
Seattle.
it doesn't work in Walking Dead.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, that's why what's his name? Kenny
Kenny.
gets so angry. He's like, there's got to be a working boat. There's got to be a
I
working
think
boat.
he falls to his knees and yells "fuck." That's the level of
Yeah, because he was
of
banking on he was banking on that one idea, and he's like, "What's the plan now?" This was the fucking plan. It's like, well, we need to think of another one, and quickly.
I mean, to be fair, his plan had already failed because Duck and Katya are already dead.
Yep,
So what's the point of the boat at that point?
yep, yep.
I like Kenny. Kenny's my favorite character in The
Yeah,
Walking
when
Dead
he got brought back
games.
in season 2,
I
it
was
was
happy.
I was
I
over the
hu-
moon. I loved Kenny.
I chose the option to hug Kenny, but
It's
you
surprising
do
how
get.
he doesn't ask Clementine where Lee is. He doesn't mention Lee at all,
Not
does he?
it's not surprising
Because you,
because he knows Lee's bitten.
yeah, but he doesn't say like, Clem, what happened with like Lee? What
I
happened?
think I, that's understandable because he was there when Lee because he saw that Lee was bitten
If you show
and
the group,
you pass out and they wake up and they find it anyway.
yeah, but that's later on in the cellar, in the basement of the building where the group were. They're taking your
I
boat.
I showed them though, but you do either way, Kenny knows that Lee was bitten, and so asking Clem what happened to him would be kind of insensitive.
No, you're right. You're
It's
right.
like what happened to Lee? What the fuck do you think happened to Lee?
Well, he doesn't know that you might, if you decide, because sometimes your choice is, and we are going off topic, but
Yeah.
very slight point, that you can decide whether or not you leave Lee to turn or if you shoot him. And depending on what you choose there, um, is the fact that probably is the reason why Clem doesn't answer. If you saw Clem, I would say, if you met Kenny, because Kenny can survive at the end of season 2 if you decide to keep him alive and don't tell him to leave and walk off on your own, or you can go with Jane, one of the two. Um, and when you get to this city, they give you like supplies, but they only will take in the kids, like you and the baby,
You and AJ, yeah.
you and AJ, yeah. But then Kenny will leave, and you can decide if you're going to go in or if you're going to go with Kenny. And if you go with Kenny, they give you an extra bag, and they shouldn't. But he's like, I can't bear to see you, so you can go. But then Kenny is not then in season 3, but yet,
He is in a flashback.
he. I think he's. They don't go back to the warehouse.
No, but he's teaching her how to drive.
Oh yeah, he doesn't he get doesn't he
He
die
dies in
from
a
that?
car accident. Yes, he dies in
Yeah,
a
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I remember that. I think that's like his. I think he takes that chance of being with Clem as a father figure as a chance of redemption in a way,
Hmm.
and also to make things up to Lee, because I think he may sort of say, well, Lee's not here, so I need to protect you. That's if you're not an asshole to Kenny the entire first season.
And I was always, but we'll talk about Walking Dead further down the line. But I
Yeah,
I sided with Kenny,
yeah, I always do. I love Kenny. Anyway,
especially on one, because fuck Larry, he deserved it.
oh yeah, like,
This is for punching me in the face and leaving me to die in the pharmacy, you cunt. Smash.
but even when you do that, Kenny still picks you up. He still comes back and gets you when Larry punches you.
Yeah.
But so yeah, so you go through the police station, you protect the trucker. What's the bit after that? 'Cause
Then you get the boat, you go out in the boat, and the Otis is infected.
oh yeah. So he waits with the boat. You go and do all the hard grafting by killing zombies. He does the easy thing by staying on the boat, but somehow manages to get bitten between you going off and coming back.
Yeah. So we on Geo's insistence, we killed him with every weapon we had. We
God.
saved and reloaded and killed him with everything.
Oh God. Poor
Um,
Otis.
I don't think I liked him, but whatever.
No, I'm backing you up there, mate. I said,
This is where the sewers came from. Actually, the sewers were between the police station and the docks.
oh, is that? But
Yeah.
do you have? No, yeah, that's before you meet Otis, though, isn't it?
Nope, it's after you meet up. It's you have to meet up back up with Otis because he can't pick you up with the.
Oh right, yeah, okay.
But you get to the main city, and you find there's a whole bunch of zombies. So you get on the back of a jeep that has a heavy mounted machine gun,
Which is the
and you
worst
have
gun
the
probably ever because it doesn't do much at all.
well, no, because try to hit a zombie in the head with a machine gun like this.
Yeah, but I mean, I just think the whole mechanic of the gun in general is bad.
Yeah,
Like, they of all, you can't get a fucking minigun essentially on a turret right in a game like this.
no,
Why not just take inspiration from another game who does it right so you can get it right?
because this game had no budget. It's not
Well,
like I could see a use for a gun like this in a zombie situation. Because yeah, you're not going to hit the zombies in the heads and kill them, but a good sweep through the midsection of a crowd like this, and the zombies don't have legs anymore. Right?
actually, you just remind me of something. So the mod that I was doing for Land is for Land the Dead. It's called Dead Epidemic, right? And it basically changes the whole. It does a whole new story, but it uses, I think, Land the Dead as a base, right? And in that game, you literally have sections where you're running through with barely any ammo. You start with a Glock with a fucking light on the front. The zombies are appallingly annoying to the point where they literally you can shoot them 5 times. I think I shot a zombie 15 times in the head with a clip of a Glock and it didn't die.
Ugh.
I'm not saying the mod is bad, but the mod came out and I think the guy who did it just then didn't update anything.
The one thing about the zombies though, if you shoot their arm or like attack their arm will come off, their leg will come off.
Yeah, and
So
if you manage to, I think it's either in this game or that they're the zombie or dead epidemic. If you manage to hit both their legs off and their arms off, you'll just get a flaying body and
yeah,
head.
we do that for fun. They'll flail around for a few minutes and just die.
Yeah, but
We forgot to mention you do go um I I don't know if it's but I think it's before the docks. You do go into a movie theater,
yes, I remember the movie theater.
which is where you're supposed to meet up with the other survivors and the army. No, they're all dead. They've all been turned.
Yeah, I mean the clue is when you get in there when like the fucking doors open.
Mm. You do eventually you get to the main city. You get to you get to Fiddler's Green, and you're tasked with kill all the zombies.
You have to work your way up to
So
the top, don't you?
you have to fight your way up through the skyscraper and then clear out the penthouse level.
Yeah, I got angry at that bit when I played it.
It is very difficult.
Yeah.
But you kill them all.
All right. Well, for those of you who may have noticed another jump cut or technical difficulties,
It's falling apart as we use it.
Yep. My recording software, my end, kept crashing or freezing on one particular timestamp or time amount. So when we were talking before, we just got to talking about the final level in the penthouse or in the tower of Fiddler's Green.
You do the tower. The final level, like the final level, is kind of boring. It's really just you're in like this penthouse, like two penthouses, because you can go to a second one, and just fight things. There's not a lot to it.
Mm.
It's hard, but it's kind of simplistic too, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you kill all the zombies. You use your Kung Fu Fist of Fury. Oh yeah, and you kill all the zombies. And then Mr. Kaufman, you don't actually see Mr.
The final level is difficult though. Like they do keep respawning for quite a while.
But you've been playing this whole time. You have the Kung Fu Fist of Fury. You did not switch to another melee weapon because as soon as you do that, you lose the Kung Fu Fist of Fury forever. So remember that.
Unless you use a cheat.
Yes. Or find another copy of the book, which you can.
You can. Okay.
It's one level. There's another one. So you're punching them. You're using the magnum and the machine gun. You're fighting them. Eventually, they're all dead. And then Kaufman, played by an actor whose name I can never remember, does not appear in the game.
No, doesn't he like appear like out of frame or sort of like by voice or something or
not even, but it's voice, but it's not the actor.
Yeah, so they get basically a cheap stand-in.
Yeah, basically. Well, it's a video game. Because his name is Dennis Hopper. It's Dennis Hopper.
Why pay more?
Kaufman in the movie.
Why pay more to get the actual actor where you can pay less and get an actor who will try and do a really bad impression of the actual real actor?
I mean, to be fair, this game had no budget. So, because this game came out in 2005, I think.
I believe so.
I played better looking games from 2005 on the PC. I played stuff that looks better than that.
Oh yeah, there were definitely better looking games in 2005.
Lord of the Rings, freaking Return of the King came out before, and it looked better than this.
I was just about to think in that even Lord of the Rings games look better than
that game. Looks the Return of the King game looks brilliant.
Yeah, well, it's one of the it's probably a game by EA that I don't get annoyed by.
So Kaufman, he's like, "Hey, you did good, Jack. You can have your own penthouse in paradise,
even though you're not rich."
You know, but hey, you killed literally every zombie in here, so I guess I owe you.
With no help, by the way. He didn't think to actually send in any men to help you.
No, just one farmer. Guess he saw the dragon tattoos and figured we didn't need the help.
One farmer with probably less firearm experience out of all his people who have arms. But there you go, game logic.
But then you get the cutscene about who's actually the real zombies, yada yada. And then we see there's a wall outside, and the zombies are trying to get through the concrete wall. And then one zombie picks up a sledgehammer, and it hits the wall with it. And I guess the city falls long before the movie gets to happen if they're already figuring out they can break through stone walls.
Well, that says to me that could maybe have skipped some time.
True, but they're I guess there's another group of smart zombies aside from the guys led by Big Daddy.
Yeah, but you could also say that idea, if it did skip time, is actually fucking stupid, and the game reached full stupid at that point.
But yeah, that's the game. There's one other bit I don't know if you actually explored, but when we did our Let's Play, the online was still operational, and
Oh,
we played a bit of it.
oh dear.
It's fine. It's death matches or who can kill. Yeah, it's basically deathmatch stuff, but there are also zombies around you have to either kill or avoid,
And
or
like
collecting
King of the
weapons to
Hill
fight
and
each
stuff
other.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You put into two teams. Usually have, and you can only play as Jack or Otis,
Oh,
but there's like normal versions of them, bloodied versions of them, and camel painted versions of them.
camel painted.
Camo painted, yeah.
Oh, camo. I thought you said camel.
Yeah.
I was going to say.
Camel painted.
Sorry, that was me mishearing you.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I never tried the online. I doubt it's even in.
We did it out of curiosity, and we're baffled that there are people still that there were people still playing it.
Well,
This
some
was
of these.
back in like
Well,
2018.
probably. I think these games that have these things, it's not necessarily the server from the developers. It's more like fan servers that they've got.
True, but you'd think that you'd have to like install, like get a mod to access the fan server, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, there is that, and you're right because an example of that is like the Resident Evil Outbreak games on PS2.
Mm.
The fan servers for that when it came up, I mean, they bought an online thing on PS2 where you had to have a fucking modem plugged in the back to use it on the
Hey.
internet. But what they've done in the emulator and the PCSX2 is if you go online, you can actually make it so you can play online with friends on Outbreak, and it has quite a lot of people doing that, and they're fan servers. And so far, so good. Capcom have not done a cease and desist.
Fair enough. I mean, no one's selling. They're not selling the PS2 game anymore.
Oh no, you're right. But it's the fact that I think it's more about the fact if they then remade the games, which everyone's saying they should do, um, even though that I think they've come out and said, or I saw, I follow a guy on Twitter or X, and he's called Evil VR or
I
Evil.
gotta say, it is monumentally stupid that Twitter's called X now.
Yeah, but this it
Another
is.
brilliant, another dumb. I'm curious. Is Elon Musk trying to kill the company?
Yes,
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
he even there was even him. There was even I saw an article the other day saying that he's gonna start making it that you have to pay for all users to stop bots accounts. I think it's like $3 a month or like I was like,
Oof.
why are you going to charge for people using a service that has been free for years now? You greedy, I can't say the word, but yeah, but
Why can't you say the word? We're not
it
monetized. This isn't
it,
monetized.
no, it's the C bomb, so I can't say it.
Uh,
Like,
let's call him a git instead.
well, normally when me and Phoenix are on stream and we want to call someone the C word, we always go, he's a stupid can't, because we can say that word. But anyway, but no, if they do, they're not, according to this tweet that I saw, they are not remaking RE5 yet. So that's not the next game they're going to remake. 9 is the next
Okay.
mainline sort one, but the next remake
How about
could
Code Veronica?
either Code Veronica or it's the first game, RE1.
Again?
Well,
Again?
this is the thing.
Really?
RE remake is the old. If you look at both set of timelines, the remake timeline is a different timeline than the old timeline. Like
Okay,
RE
this is starting to get as ridiculous as the fact that you can technically play Doom on a gas pump now.
on a gas pump.
Yeah, they found a way to because the original Doom is such a simple program, you could technically play it with some like jiggering and hacking, play it on a petrol pump's screen.
Fucking hell.
Play it on toasters. You can play it on your stove's timer. Doom is everywhere. Everyone is Doom.
Yeah, well, it was a very simple game, just with the
It's a great game too. It spawned a genre.
protagonist is called Doom Guy.
Doom guy or the
Anyway,
Doom Marine. Or in recent
I've
in
not,
the, in the most recent games,
I've
the
not actually,
Doom Slayer.
I've not actually played the first game and completed it before.
Neither have I, but I have played a lot of games of Doom-like games. Like
Duke
you can
Nukem.
find on my channel. Well, yeah, Duke Nukem 3D. But you can find on my channel Star Wars Dark Forces, which
Yeah,
is Star Wars Doom, and it's brilliant.
I tried to get that game to work in a more updated kind of repacked one,
The answer is
it,
GOG.
it
The
wouldn't
answer is
work.
always GOG.
Yeah, I suppose so.
I am a professional.
I
Always GOG.
I believe you. Not all games are on GOG though, which is annoying.
True.
So yeah, so you complete
You know what's on GOG, which I don't understand?
what?
Arkham Knight.
Arkham Knight.
That is neither good nor old. Why is that on GOG?
Yeah, I mean, you would have thought. Well,
GOG.
I mean,
Daikatana. Well,
but
old, yes.
but
Good. Ooh.
can I just make a point, right? The
Sure.
old Alone in the Dark games are on GOG, but they have done nothing to incorporate any type of controller support in those. They can do it, and technically you can map a controller. It's just very difficult. But when I was playing that game for the first time a while ago, when you said you should make it a Halloween special, but I haven't edited the rest of the VLP yet. When I got used to the keyboard controls, they are surprisingly easy to get used to once you know how to work yourself around it.
Mm.
And it's very that spawned a fucking genre as well. That spawned the survival horror
It
one,
did.
along with Go Home,
You
which
know
was
what?
the one before on the SNES or whatever it was on.
You know what game had the bloody worst controls ever?
What?
Agent Under Fire.
Oh, yeah.
I
Great game, but
played
bad
that
controls.
entire game with because there is a cheat to make the controls not suck. That's actually a cheat on on Codebreaker.
I believe you.
But I played the first time going through. I played the whole game with those controls and never got used to them.
Yeah, I
Like
think
eventually, the thing is, eventually, even with bad controls, you eventually adapt to them. Like you can
I always go into
but I
that.
never could. I
I always
couldn't
go.
adapt to it.
I always go into the first level with the controls that I don't want, and I have to exit and go back out because you can't change them in game.
You can't change the controls at all. You can't
Yeah,
alter the.
well, you can on the main menu. You can change them to like different um different mapping types, like um like Moonraker and like different like that kind of thing. You can change them different kind of way, like the D-pad will do something different or something like that. But we are getting a
But
bit slight.
can you change that left mouse controls your forward movement, but right mouse controls your side to side movement?
I don't know about the mouse because I played it on PS2.
Sorry, left stick controls forward,
I think
right
you
stick
can. Yeah,
controls,
I'll check after we finish this. I'll check.
because
Um,
the base controls are broken.
I will have a look. I know there is like a mod on GameCube where someone has
Anyway,
modded the game. Yeah,
anyway,
we're getting a bit off track. So
favorite
favorite.
level, least favorite level. I'll let you go first for favorite level.
Okay, my favorite level. Um, I think probably I remember. I think a lot of them jump out at me, but I think maybe sort of like the theater. I think jumps out at me.
Hmm.
Um, I can vaguely remember that, not completely, but I can almost remember that in my mind. And least favorite, probably protecting Otis.
My favorite would be the hospital
It's a great level.
for two reasons. One, I love the ambience and the atmosphere. Two, we had the funniest thing that happened in our Let's Play happen in the hospital,
What?
where we chucked a grenade. But we had a zombie because we had two doors, and we opened one door, and the zombie could not figure out that the other door was open, so he just kept walking into the closed door. So he chucked a grenade out out the open door, and it detonated, and it sent him the zombie swan diving through the door, and it was beautiful.
I'm gonna have to watch that now after we
We
finish this.
replay. It's the episode. The episode's called Swan Dive. It's immediate. You'll find it. It's super easy to find.
I'll have to have a look at it.
And Gio couldn't. He had to go. He had to leave on that. I replayed the jump. Like I instant replayed the swan dive a few times, and then played it in slow motion.
Is that on the video?
Yes, it's on the video.
Oh yes.
It's beautiful. I put like Chariots of Fire music over it. It was great.
Okay. I've got my timer for my food is like 5 minutes. So
and it's not. This isn't the game, but that I have this memory of hilarity associated with this level makes it my favorite level.
I can understand why.
Least favorite is the final level at the penthouse, because it has the least variety and it's the least interesting and there's the least cool stuff.
I think I'd have that as another one that I didn't like, because I think I died quite a few times. I don't know if I uploaded my one, didn't I, of that? And
you did.
Yeah, and I think I was getting very ragey when I got onto the roof because I just kept dying. I didn't have the luxury of cheats at that point. But yeah, I found that very hard. But so if you could rate it out of 10, what would you give it?
Probably a solid 7. Maybe a 6.5, because I had fun with it. But a lot of the fun I had with it was making my own fun with it, like the ridiculous shit happening in it, and essentially torturing zombies.
Yeah, of how stupid they can be. Yeah, the AI is god awful.
So I had fun,
shit.
But I don't know how much of the fun was intentional. I enjoyed it in the same way you enjoy watching The Room, or like a bad horror movie, a cheesy B horror movie. That's the kind of enjoyment I got out of it. much like the movie it's based on, actually.
Yeah, I'd say a solid. I think probably I'd say maybe I want to give it a 7, but I don't think it really can reach a 7. I think a high 6.9. It just doesn't quite make the 7 mark, but I think a high.
I certainly have good memories of it.
I do. I have thought about replaying it again, but it's just like it's just comes to mind when I think about it. And then
it's fun in how it's a kind of so bad it's good kind of game. Really.
Yeah, it's just like it's so bad, and like
it's the same kind of. It's not quite as bad as these other two titles, but the same kind of fun I have with Right to Hell Retribution or Batman Dark Tomorrow.
Well, I think you had quite a bit of rage, didn't you, for Right to Hell Retribution?
In my defense, I was driving along the road, and then the road just forgot to exist, so I fell through it. It's hard not to get angry at that.
I can't remember what one that's in, but I'm gonna have to. Is that in the first video?
Yes, it's called. No, it's not in the first video, but the main instance of it is in the episode called Vanishing Point, I think. Because I took the effort, just like with my Arkham Asylum Let's Play. I named all the episodes after episodes of all the videos after episodes of Batman the Animated Series. I will try to do the same for Arkham City, but I'm running out of episodes.
Yeah.
I named all the episodes of Right to Hell Retribution after biker movies from the 70s. And it might be out by now, it might not, but my Let's Play of Nightmare Creatures, because it's the villain Crowley has got the stuff from a diary, and because the villain's name is Crowley, I named all the episodes after Black Sabbath songs.
Well, yeah, you just reminded me that in my Alien Trilogy game that I played, which when I played it on PS1, I completed it, and then it just went back to the main menu, and then I was like, I'm sure there's meant to be a final cutscene here. So I did some
So,
research online, and
so
my
you just
game, the game refused to play the final cutscene, so I had
oh,
to go and borrow it from someone else.
yeah, that tends to happen.
Yeah,
But yeah,
but
it was a fun game, but mainly the fun isn't how weird and janky it is. It's that kind of.
yeah, I mean
It's like
overall,
Plan 9 from Outer Space or Troll 2, that kind of fun.
I think yeah, I think I've got like, yeah, my timer's about to go off. Sorry guys. While we were doing this, I was also cooking my dinner. So we don't know when this will come out. It'll probably be each weekend of Halloween. I've just uploaded all of my content as of just a few hours ago, so it's all up and scheduled and ready to go. I am doing one more that will come out probably on the day of Halloween in one big go. Hang on, bear with me. I'm going to keep talking while I go into the other room, as long as you can keep hearing me. I need to turn off the oven.
Do you want me to will you do the thing? Do you want me to give my stuff and then you can do your stuff after?
Yeah. You do yours, yeah.
So thanks for watching. Happy Halloween, everybody. As Classic said, a lot of Halloween content on his channel. You can also find a lot of Halloween content on my channel. Halloween is the biggest time of year for Narwhal Entertainment. A whole bunch of Let's Plays. You got Mind Breakers. Should be a link to my channel, Narwhal Entertainment, in the description below. We got this year for Mind Breakers. We'd like to do a series every year. You'll find the remake. We were doing remakes, so we have the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Rob Zombie's Halloween. Lots of games. There's a Scooby-Doo one. There's Dracula 3, Path of the Dragon, one of the worst games of all time, in my opinion. At least the worst I've ever played. Curse the Eye of Isis, which we will have a podcast about, and I can give my thoughts about that. Just a clue, like a little hint. Not no like.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was one that I recommended. That I said that it's a good game because I played it and I actually really enjoyed it because it was like a obscure
we'll get
game that
into
I'd
our
never heard of. I
thoughts.
saw it, I was like, "What's this game? Oh, I quite like this game. It's a Resident Evil clone."
We'll get into our thoughts and my mixed feelings about that one because it's less direct hate and more mixed feelings. Next, in a future one, Clive Barker's Jericho, utter piece of shit.
Not even
Devil
touch
May
those
Cry
games.
2, fucking fantastic. And Nightmare Creatures, okay. And Dead Rising 2, fucking fantastic. So you'll see that on my channel. And now give your, I've given my plug, link in description below, and your plug. So.
Yeah, so I've got a couple of LPs as well or 3 LPs that are coming out. So if I just get up my thing so I can actually look what I've got. So I've got from the start it will be alternating between Alien Trilogy and X-Files, Resist or Serve, which is the Scully playthrough, which I promised that I would do last year, this year, even though I forgot until very late that I promised that, and I had to do it like towards the end of September.
Take note. Let's play X-Files game. Okay, continue.
Yeah, but I had to start it about 3 times because my first attempts at it completely ballsed up. Then towards the end of that, when kind of X-Files is finishing, which is only 14 parts, surprisingly, I've got one of my favourite games based on a series that I absolutely adore. Even now I adore it. Goosebumps Escape from Horrorland, which was difficult to get working, but when you know where to look and what version
One
to get.
slight question about Goosebumps Escape from Horrorland.
Mm.
You know how the books say, reader beware, you're in for a scare?
Yeah.
And in the TV show, it says, viewer beware, you're in for a scare.
Yep.
Please tell me that this game says, player beware, you're in for a scare.
Let me double check that, because I'm sure it does.
Because if not, that is a massive missed opportunity.
Well, it's a game that you should certainly play because it's got the amazing I can't remember his name, but the guy who's in Jurassic Park. The
There's
guy,
a lot of guys in Jurassic Park.
the guy who basically fancies the female woman who's with the
Sam Neill.
no, yeah, the woman, not the Alan,
The one
the
who
other
fancies
guy,
Laura Dern.
the other guy,
Jeff
the guy,
Goldblum.
yes,
Jeff Goldblum is in it?
yeah, he's in it and he plays Dracula.
Oh yes. Thank you.
It's an LP. It's an LP you're gonna want to watch on my channel.
Sorry.
Believe me.
I said his name wrong. Jeff Goldblum.
Oh
You're
yeah.
so
Well,
busy.
here you go. It doesn't quite say play
It's
whoever.
the Fly. It's Seth Brundle, the Fly.
So, I'm not sure about. Hang on. Oh yeah, it's still recording. Good. It says here, just so you asked about what I remember about Game Everywhere. You're in for a scare. But it says a scary goofballs adventure. Play if you dare.
Man.
So not quite the same kind of thing you wanted, but almost.
Because it's so easy, just play over.
Yeah, but yes, Jeff Goldberg. It's got quite a few famous actors in the game, like, and it's not the fact that it's like a cartoon kind of version of them. That it's the actual real life actors in this environment.
There's one I got to do again, which for a similar thing. It's called Frankenstein Through the Eyes of the Monster. And it has only one actor who plays Victor Frankenstein.
Mm.
Do you know who it is?
No.
Tim Curry.
Oh my god.
The legendary Tim Curry himself. Rest in peace. I think he did pass away. That's sad, actually. Rest in peace, Tim Curry. Or he has dementia, so he essentially has already passed away. It's one of the two.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Because he was the voice of the 90s for me.
But yeah, he was in the original Annie film. He was the brother of Mrs. Hannigan. But yeah, so
he's in a great Scooby-Doo movie too.
Who's he in?
Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost. He plays Ben Ravencroft.
Oh yes, of course.
Or basically Stephen King.
Yeah, but so
and he's in another Halloween classic.
Goosebumps,
the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh, mate, you have to.
I'll do my best. So Escape from Horrorland comes out. The first episode on the 27th, and because obviously there's 7 parts, and I was running out of days, I had to do. I think it was 2 on. What was it? It was. Hang on, let me check. It was. It goes fine until the 29th, and then there's 2 on the 29th. 2 episodes on the 29th, which I've made come out at the same time, which I need to change, and then 3 on actual Halloween, which come out at 12 p.m., 4 p.m., and then the last one comes out at 8 p.m. But no, that game is a game you definitely need to look at. It is already on my channel as an old LP if you want to go and look at it. I have played it before. It's one of my favourite games ever because it's such a good interactive game, and it never gets boring because it's so much fun, and you can go off and explore if you want. You can go down the sewers and you've got monsters and you can collect all the coins and shit like that. Obviously, it is very, it is short. Like you could probably, I can imagine you sometimes do your videos for like an hour long. If you did yours for an hour long in this, you probably would get it done in like 3 parts. I can't remember what thing you said was like 3 parts. I think it was like your Scooby-Doo Cyber Chase one.
Yeah, Scooby-Doo Cyber Chase.
You probably could do it in less than that. I'd say you do it in 2 parts.
Yeah, hell, if I play my cards right, I might do it in one special episode, just one.
Yeah, there's no reason why you can't. I mean, it is a bit of a bitch to get working. You do have to have kind of like, you have to know where to look, And because it doesn't work on this like modern computers, because it's obviously not, Windows 95, you can get like a virtual machine, but there are sites you can find. I'm not going to give links of it to anyone, so if anyone asks in the comments, I'm not going to give you links to anywhere. Simple Google search will give you what you want, just like with BIOSes for emulators and ROMs for emulators. If you want to find those things, you need to go and do a Google search, and I won't be answering anything like that, whether it's in Discord or my channel, and I'm sure Merrick agrees there. Um,
I fully
so
support piracy. That's my stance here.
Well, if they're abandoned games, then I don't see a problem with it. But like, I think when you see like new games have just come out on like these repack
Oh, yeah,
sites, I
new
think that's
games that have just come out. That's one thing. Unless it's full of microtransactions. In that case, steal the fuck out of it.
yeah.
But
No, I agree with that. But yeah, so
usually, I'm down with piracy, unless one thing. If it's an indie game, no, I will pay for it.
yeah, indie developers
Like
deserve.
if it's fucking EA or Activision, fuck them.
Well,
Obviously, Nintendo, fuck
if
them.
it's an independent developer like the one that made Firewatch, for example,
Yeah,
I
buy that. Obviously, but
I
not
I love Firewatch. I adore
big
that game.
big companies can fuck off.
Yeah, EA, fuck EA.
Or if
Konami.
it's an online game, which I literally cannot play if I pirate it,
I mean,
like Sea of Thieves.
Konami, for example, right? They're not even remaking Metal Gear 3. They're subbing it off to believe it or not, a Chinese developer. Now, there's nothing wrong
Steph,
with them being
as
Chinese.
Stephanie Sterling once coined, hashtag fuckonami.
Yeah, yeah. Or Jim, what's he called? Um,
They go by Stephanie. They go by Stephanie now.
yeah. He was Jim something, wasn't he? And he
Yes, I
had
think
that
it was.
or whole new playlist. Oh yeah, because he's now she
Yeah,
is now
they're
yeah
Stephanie. Well,
yeah.
no, it's not she. It's they.
Yeah,
It's
they, yeah. No, no,
yeah, it's
no
Stephanie.
insults intended, but they
I know
had,
you just forgot. No,
I didn't
it's
actually
different
know
from
that it
insulting.
happened until I think someone told me ages ago.
Yeah.
But they are, they had a thing called Fuck EA, not Fuck EA, Fuck
Yep.
Konami, and it was just,
Fuckonami. One
and
word.
they blasted Konami so much that Konami blacklisted them.
Yes, it was. It's a mark. They still take that as a mark of honor.
I know, it's brilliant. It's so good. I remember they did a review on a really old game because my friend showed me it. It was like a game where
But you
they,
can we can talk about this after. Happy Halloween! Check out my channel
yeah.
description below. Check
I
out
was
all
going
the
off
cool
topic. I'm
Halloween
sorry.
content we have for you now. I'm American Tomato.
Oh, just one thing before I do go. There is one more LP of Halloween that will come out probably on the day of Halloween, in between the
Ooh.
um Escape from Horrorland. And that one is the City of Lost Children. Not necessarily a Halloween game itself, but it has got kind of like a little bit of spookiness to it with all the kids going missing and shit like that. So I started that the other day, and that won't be a very long game, probably about 4 parts. So
We also have obviously coming out the night of Halloween on my channel.
yeah,
We have another go through of Thatcher Productions' Evil Dead fan game.
yeah.
Because there are 3 portals, and we've only seen one. Let's check out the second one. See
Why
where
not?
we go.
Well,
The first
thank you.
one,
So
the first one landed us in Army of Darkness in medieval times. Let's see where the second one takes us.
it sounds like something that's going to be very interesting to see. So thank you everyone for watching, and we will see you all in the next podcast, which will probably be, we're going to do these I think on the weekends.
Yeah,
So next week it will be Curse Eye of Isis.
probably Curse the Eye of Isis. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it will be the thing on Halloween night. Not the thing on Halloween night. Um, Evil Dead. Hail to the King on Halloween night. Sorry, my mistake. The thing you've already seen.
I
But
am going to be very excited for that because I am a massive fan of Evil Dead. It is to me what Star Wars is to some people. I love Evil Dead.
each to their own. I've never really watched it enough to really make a determination. but maybe one day
Then I will take care of everything about the movies and all of it. I will.
Yeah,
Take care of
you're the expert in that.
Indeed, I am.
Yes. So thanks for listening, everyone, and we will see you all next week. So
Happy Halloween.
happy
I've been Merrick
Halloween,
Demetta.
and I've been Classic Gamer.
Ciao.
Ciao.